Alright, what is up, guys? I have been meaning to get to this a while, but I have finally cleared my schedule enough to sit down and react to the new Resident Evil trailer. And if you've been around my channel for a bit, you'll know I made a very bold claim the last time I talked about a new Resident Evil game. I said it was either going to be the Kiss of Death or the next Resident Evil 6. And now that that trailer is out, I guess we're about to find out which one it is. And just for the record, I have played pretty much every game, well, except a couple of the side spin-offs, but other than that, let's get right into it.
Sir.
Okay, I like it so far. This is definitely going to be a new character. I know this doesn't look like him, but for whatever reason, this does kind of give me Ethan Winters vibes. Even though, well, we seen that he died at the end of Village. But, I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I could probably see Village and 7 kind of having some Easter eggs in this, though. But, proceed. From the looks of it, it looks like this new character does work with the feds.
Grace. Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
My office.
Anytime I hear the name Ashcroft, I instantly think of the old lore to like the older games. Because, you know, like, you go back to some of the Resident Evil lore from like the first couple games and Zero, you do see a lot about the Ashfords and Umbrella. But that's another topic for another day. Let's continue.
Coming. If this is about the report you asked for yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days, tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body. One that exhibits the same pathology as the others we've been investigating.
Interesting.
Now, I need a good technical analyst on this.
Okay.
I need your eyes on the crime scene. The Renwood Hotel.
Okay, pause it right there. You already know this is definitely giving off vibes to one of the older games. For some reason, it almost kind of reminds me of the Desolate Ship from Resident Evil 7. But, once again, maybe I'm overthinking things. Continue.
I know that's where your mother was murdered.
Okay, pause it right here for a second. This is what's really intriguing to me. Like, it's like you would think it resembles Lucas just because of the hoodie. But I don't even want to get into that confusing thing because that would be like all the people that would try to say like Wesker isn't dead. And then like it's like a whole deep dive. That's another topic for another day. But this could definitely be intriguing.
Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past. Grace.
how many exactly how many times have we seen throughout the Resident Evil series one of like the main protagonists wakes up and like usually like locked up in a cell or in somewhere like that. Like for example, like you have Leon in Resident Evil 4 wakes up tied up to Lewis. Then you have Claire and Moira in Revelations 2 wake up in the jail cell. Then Resident Evil 6, Jake and Sherry in the testing room. I could go on with this, but another topic for another day.
Stay close. They're coming.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one.
This is definitely giving off some psychological horror vibes, and I am here for it. And wow. Pausing right here for a second, but you already have to guess this is probably Raccoon City, but like almost 30 years later. Of course, I don't really need to go into the lore of Raccoon City much, especially if you have played Resident Evil 2 and 3, but oh yes, this is definitely Raccoon City.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
And I stand corrected. Okay, go back. Yep, Raccoon Police Department.
Gone.
Stay away from that!
Wait a minute.
Stay away from that!
Go back. This is definitely giving me vibes back to the Baker Mansion in Resident Evil 7. Like, this probably is not a molded, but like, it just looks like it. And just the attention to detail, it does kind of definitely look like the Baker Mansion. Oh, wow. I think this is looking like it's going to be pretty badass. Wow. So a lot to dissect here. I do like the direction they're going with this, because this is kind of giving you like that, if you combined Resident Evil and Silent Hill type vibe. Combined survival horror and psychological horror. And I really like the direction they're going with this. I thought the trailer itself was pretty full in detail. And I've always said, would they ever do a revisit to Raccoon City? And it looks like we have got that wish. I'd say some moments that stood out, that kind of showed the overhead shot of Raccoon City, kind of give you the detail of what it looks like almost 30 years later. Of course, like I said, if you've played Resident Evil 2 and then Resident Evil 3, you pretty much know the fate of Raccoon City. And oh man, I gotta say, do I think this connects to a storyline, or could they be setting up for something different? Well, this is what I'm trying to think of, because whenever the DLC for Village came out, you had a lot of people thinking that the eventual Resident Evil 9 would pan into Rose, but many years after Village. But based on what we've seen, that does not appear to be the case. And I remember that was a heavy speculation after the Village DLC was out. So I do see some connection to Resident Evil 7 and 8 and some Easter eggs to the other games, but I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this. I know at least one person in the Resident Evil community that probably already can tie the lore together better than I can, which, you know, yeah, like I said, yeah, she pretty much has the lore down to a T. So, am I hyped? Hell to the yes, I am, because I think, obviously, if you're going to go the psychological horror route, just based on what we've seen, I think they can make it work right here. And just, like, oh yeah, man, I'm speechless. I think this has potential to be greatness. And as I know I said that quote on one of my old videos. The next game was either going to be The Kiss of Death or the next Resident Evil 6, which I'm not even going to go back into detail on how RE6 split up the community and whatnot. If you want to go back and watch that, I'll leave links to that video in the description. And like I said, so I will say this. It's so weird how I said there were many different turning points across the series. Like Resident Evil 4 was kind of a major turning point because, you know, you had all the games in third-person tank controls. Well, except for Dead Aim and Survivor, but like Resident Evil 6 was probably the major turning point because that kind of doubled down on the shift from horror to action. And then obviously fast forward 5 years later and Resident Evil 7 was like a major turning point because that shifted the series back to survival horror. And then obviously like Resident Evil Village, like, okay, like the part where you play as Chris, yes, that was kind of criticized because it was kind of Call of Duty-like, but if you know the lore and you knew the story, I mean, you pretty much had to figure that's where it was going to go. And then I think with this game, that's pretty much doubling down on the horror aspect, especially just because we see the survival and psychological horror aspect kind of both added into this, and I'm interested to see how this is going to look going forward. And, like, obviously we will see a lot more stuff come out as the months go on. And would I watch or play this on day one? I mean, if I'm not busy, I'll for sure play it on day one, but you saw the release date, February 27th, and that is usually a very busy time of month for me. But we will see. And I will close it out on this. We're still waiting on Capcom to make that Code Veronica remake. I mean, it's like the community's teased it for a while. The community wants it, but I mean, obviously, make the Code Veronica remake happen soon. It's gotta happen. Got that out of the way. But anyway, that's gonna about do it for this video. probably try to do some more stuff on this game. Maybe revisit the Resident Evil video I did where I made that comment. But if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link in the description. But anyway, YouTube says you might like this video shown on the screen. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I will catch you guys in the next one. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.